What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark, and today, yes, we're covering some more r/Am I the Butthole? If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it all hugely helps out our channel. And a huge thank you to the members of our channel. You are always truly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. And we have two new members again. We have Saber and Bernadette Wallace. Thank you so much for joining us. You'll never know how much it truly means to me. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story comes from Sabertooth Diego. Am I the arsehole for complaining about a car salesman's unprofessionalism? I, 28, FTM, I think that's female to male, feel like a fucking Karen. Okay, so I fucking hate my Nissan Rogue. The transmission died at only 70k miles. Thankfully it was recovered by warranty, so I took it to a Nissan dealership to get the transmission replaced. They had it for a week. The day I dropped it off, I asked to talk to a seller to look into trading it and getting a better car. I was paired with a pretty young guy, around my age. I'm 28. He did well showing me the cars and then went to his office to talk numbers. At no point during this did I curse or act unprofessional. I'm making a purchase, not a friend. So when we sat down and he started talking about that it's good that I'm getting a new car because mine is fucked up. I was a little shocked that he would speak that way, but whatever. I curse a lot normally, I'm a veteran, I'm not a prude. But then he started escalating, talking about this new car was big enough to get fucked in and it would make me look more professional and mature. At that I go, excuse me, what are you implying? And he was like, well, in your shorts and t-shirt you look like a teenager. And then he asked how I had my paycheck, and before I could answer, disabled veteran, he said that I probably still lived at home with my parents, and I was like, actually, I own a farm about 45 minutes away, and I bought it when I was 26. And he suddenly bristles and goes, well, my girlfriend owns a bigger home. I didn't say my house size, and what the fuck does that even matter? At this point I was severely uncomfortable and said, can we just go back to the car purchase? You're not my friend and I don't appreciate you trying to act like it. I went back to the numbers, with occasional comments thrown in about how horrible my car was, and I probably wouldn't even get 5k trading it in. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to say Nissans are great? And he waved it off. So I ended the appointment, came up with an excuse to leave. The next day I came in and asked to speak to the manager and told them everything. They were horrified and said he was new and he would be talked to. When I returned the next week, I found out he had been fired. I felt like an arse, but I made it super clear how uncomfortable I was, and he just kept pushing. He had the fellow kids vibe, like he was trying to rib me and curse me and use slang to seem relatable to someone my age, which was fucking weird because he was my age. So, am I the arsehole? Also, because I had to give my legal name, he also knew I was transgender. He still addressed me as male, thankfully. I'm passing, so he didn't know until midway through the paperwork that I'm not a cis man. Wow. A few of you have been requesting the top comments from this post so you can judge it better. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, so let me know if it does. I'm going to read some now and let me know what you think. Gooberslob said, not the arsehole, he made you feel uncomfortable and was unprofessional. Hopefully, he learns from this experience and becomes a better person. Napoleon the God. Yep, some have bad days, but some are normally shitty. Hopefully it was just a bad day and that it wasn't OP he was angry at. Starry Blue 7. I don't even think it was anger. It reads to me like it was just some ill-conceived sales tactic to try to get OP to feel the need to buy a car to compensate for the imaginary inadequacies and trade in the previous car for less value. The fact that things began cordially until it came to talking numbers, and the fact that he didn't try to use OP trans status against him, makes me think this was wholly about trying to maximise the sale, albeit in a wholly idiotic way. Although really, I could only see this working on some highly insecure man having a midlife crisis at best. I just think the guy was an idiot, man. Who talks like that to somebody trying to sell to? Surely it's just simple logic. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that top right hand corner. Our next story comes from AskSome3043. Am I the arsehole for calling my brother a piss baby? My brother, 27 male, lives with my parents and I, 16 male. My brother is a nice guy / incel. He's constantly ranting about how girls won't go out with him, and apparently they're all dirty whores for not liking him. My parents seem to only encourage his behaviour. What's worse, he's a gym teacher, so his female students, some of whom are my classmates, are exposed to his nasty ass attitude. Last night my brother went on another long rant about the latest girl who managed to resist his nice guy charm. He kept going on about it and I got annoyed because of it. I told him, maybe if you weren't such a piss baby, someone would want to date you. Piss baby was said because my parents have forbidden the term incel in our house, because my brother gets upset over it. Also, it was the first thing I could come up with other than incel. Surprise, my brother gets upset about it. My dad tells me to apologise to my brother, and I tell him I wasn't going to apologise to a nasty ass piss baby who goes around treating people, mainly women, like shit just because he's a nice guy. Things escalate to where my dad, brother and I are all screaming at each other at the dinner table. It ends up with me being told to find a friend to stay with for the night, because my parents and brother are so disappointed in me. I got a long voicemail telling me about how disappointing I was. I got told I went too far and should regret my actions. I don't regret my actions, and I don't think I went too far, but whatever. Am I the arsehole for calling my brother a piss baby? I've never heard that term piss baby before. And our first comment comes from Anxy Wench. Not the arsehole. Let me get this straight. Your parents defend your 27-year-old brother from you, 16, to the point where they threw you out the house. Hell no, you're not the arsehole, but it's entirely possible that you live with 3 of them. C. Patel. Do teenagers not get their set room anymore? Like, what the fuck? You don't just kick your kids out because you're mad at them, especially when you have no real grounds to be mad. OP, it's a miracle you turned out not gross and creepy in this house. Not the arsehole. But you blowing up and throwing names just makes people like this feel like it proves how it's everyone who is an arsehole, and he is right. If you do actually want to help your brother be a less awful human, a gentler approach might not get as much backlash. To which Rum and Coke replied, it's not the responsibility of a 16-year-old minor to teach a 27-year-old adult how to be functioning human who respects women. And C replied to that one as well. I didn't say it was, I said yelling and calling names will result in this outcome. If his intention is to have a conversation about how not to be a creep, since it seems to be the only man in the family that isn't one, he needs to try a different approach. If he has no desire to do that, then he needs to leave when his brother starts saying vile things, because it will eventually snap and have the same situation again. To finally which Milkbeam Galaxia replies, it wouldn't if his parents weren't enabling this piss baby behaviour, but you're right. OP needs to play this pragmatically until he can move out on his own. Oh my god, the parents having to defend a 27-year-old male. You gotta think there's something more here, because it just sounds so wrong, doesn't it? Why are they defending him? Absolutely crazy. What do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that top right hand corner. Our next story comes from Adoptive Mum Sister. Am I the arsehole for not telling my adoptive son I'm really his half sister? Me, 28 female, my husband Dave, 29, my mum Louise, 45, my son Frankie, 5. My parents were both born in 1974 and I was born in 1992. As you can guess, they were 17/18 when I was born. My mum refused an abortion but was adamant she would have nothing to do with me, so she bailed literally the day I was born. As soon as she knew I was okay, she managed to get herself discharged and vanished, and I guess relinquishing her parental rights. My dad was shocked as he was only 17 at the time, but he loved from the start and he managed to give me an awesome childhood. I didn't have anything to do with Louise, to be honest. She would come and go every few years, getting my hopes up to see her and bailing when shit got real. I also later learned she was addicted to drugs and begged my dad for money, so my image of her was not a good one. She got clean when I was about 22 and I decided to give her a chance. Things were great for a while, but I realised she was treating me more as a friend than a daughter, and I got really bad with my mental health and she bailed again. I decided that was my last straw and I cut her off. All was fine until she turned up in early 2015, heavily pregnant. I was shocked because, not being rude, she was approaching 41 and she didn't seem to have her life together, and I didn't think that was motherly at all. She confirmed that the pregnancy was a mistake and was considering giving him up. I was already married, and despite only being 23, I offered to adopt the baby as he was family anyway. Louise was fine with this. She gave birth and Dave and I officially adopted him as our son. Louise bailed once again and we never saw her. Louise has recently come into the picture and she seems to be a changed woman. She talked to me through my dad and he confirmed she fell back on drugs but has gone to rehab. Is in a stable job now and a good relationship. I said that was great to hear, but why does this involve me? I learned that she wants Frankie to be in her life and me, as she misses her kids. I wasn't impressed, but I agreed to meet her myself to see what she had to say. She seemed genuinely remorseful and acknowledged her mistakes. She then asked me how I was doing as an older sister, and I corrected her by saying I'm a mum. She got really angry and said I had no right to make Frankie think I was his mum and Dave is his dad. I reminded her that she relinquished her rights to both me and him, and she has no right to tell me how to parent. I also said he knows me and my husband as his parents, my dad as his grandpa, and that if I've mentioned her briefly, he thinks she is his grandma. She called me an arsehole and has called me one repeatedly. Dave and my dad think Louise is crazy, but I wonder if maybe I should tell Frankie the truth. I don't know, he's my son to me. I should add that I haven't talked to my mum since this, and I've blocked her after her arsehole comments. I feel I need to make it clear, I will tell him the truth one day, I just didn't think it would be now because he's only 5. And our first comment comes from Jimmy Jr. Dance Party. Not the arsehole, but dude, you need to make a plan for telling the truth, because this woman is 100% going to find a way to do it eventually, whether you cut her out of your life or not. You do not want him finding out from her, especially if she's feeling spiteful about being blocked from his life. I would speak to a family counsellor about the best way to handle this. To which OP said, I'm planning on telling him one day. Chem Throwaway says, child welfare experts agree that it's harmful to keep one's parentage a secret for any length of time. Waiting until a child's old/mature enough to understand is outdated and ill-advised. The archives of r/adoption have numerous posts written by adoptive parents asking how/when to tell their child that they're adopted. I think you may find the replies to be helpful. Damn, that is a tough story, but what a shitty parent. I know she might have her life together now, but she can't repair the damage that's already been done just from turning up and trying to be nice. I mean, it will take, well, I don't think it could ever be repaired, that sort of thing. And Louise should be just thankful that the sister took on the boy and raised him as her own, as a mother. What a nice person to be doing that, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that top right-hand corner. Our next story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for wanting my ex-husband to stop calling my daughter? My daughter has been calling her father every day when she's with me, sometimes for an hour or more. She's been doing this since around when the pandemic started. It's very frustrating to me because she never calls me when she's with her father, and when I call her, she only talks for 5 minutes before saying she has to go. I asked her father to stop accepting her calls daily and limit it to a couple of times per week. He said that he wouldn't stop answering the calls from his daughter, and he's not the one calling her, she's calling him. He wants me to tell her to stop calling if I have a problem with it, but obviously I can't tell her to stop because that will just make her upset with me. I told him again that it would be polite to limit his contact to a reasonable amount when she's with me, because I don't interfere with his time when she's with him. He got angry and said he wasn't going to do that and hung up. I think I'm being very reasonable here, and most 15-year-olds don't want to talk to their parents voluntarily as much as she talks to him. It's only fair that when she's with me, she's actually with me rather than just talking on the phone with him. Am I the arsehole? Oh dear. Oh dear. We jump straight to the comments from Reasonable King. You're the arsehole. You want to limit your daughter's interaction with her father because it makes you jealous. That's petty, and a one-way ticket to resentment from her. As someone who co-parents a child, I would never do that or ask for that to be done. Followed by Sweet Potato 37, and OP isn't even going to discuss this with her daughter. She's passively aggressively going about it by asking the dad to deal with it. She doesn't respect her daughter. If her daughter doesn't want to ring her all the time, perhaps that's a reflection of how OP is acting around her. The fact that she's asking her daughter basically to tell the father to stop calling her, so the daughter's going to sit there and think, the dad doesn't want to talk to me no more. That's going to be a deep wound if that was to happen, and thankfully the father isn't doing it. And all over jealousy, man, is so wrong, and you sort of wonder why the daughter doesn't want to talk to the OP here. Just saying, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that top right-hand corner. And our final story comes from Pugba98. Am I the arsehole for spending my birthday money on what I want? So it was my birthday on Friday, and my mum gave me £50 because she didn't know what to get me. So I spent it on clippers, toothbrush, new joggers, vitamin tablets and pumice stones to help get rid of dead skin due to me recently taking up jogging. So when all my stuff arrived, my mum went apeshit. She said, why don't you buy some clothes instead of wearing the usual stuff you wear? You always look like a tramp. Considering we're on lockdown and I'm lounging about the house in a River Island / top man clothes. She said the clothes that I wear are crap, material often 100% cotton, and trampy. She heavily suggested I go on stores like Nike, Adidas or Adidas, etc. where two shirts cost almost £50 overall. So I said, no, you gave me money to buy what I wanted for my birthday and I've done exactly that. I don't care about your opinion on my clothes because you never fucking like what I buy anyways, so either way I'm fucked. Then she got even more upset at me. Like, I buy clothes from places where you can often get a pack of 4 t-shirts for £20. She expects me to get 2 for £50. Am I the arsehole for not spending my birthday money as my mum intended? Edit, I forgot to mention, since my stuff came that I bought with the money they gave me, they want me to get new clothes to show for that £50, not other stuff that I bought. So now I'm stuck, technically £100 down, because I ordered stuff that I want, but wouldn't have bought but unless it was gift money or from a bonus/savings. Edit, I'm 22 male and work for a living. Straight into the comments, not the arsehole, what is wrong with your mum? If she wants you to wear other clothes, she can buy them. The OP replies, to add to the post, I often don't like what she buys me. I'm grateful for the clothes she buys, and I wear them once in a blue moon, but it's always been a constant disagreement since I started working at 16. I'm now 22. Pipe Master Paul says, River Island and Top Man is decent apparel. Wearing exclusively Nike and Adidas will just make you look like a wannabe roadman. 114631 says, seriously, my Top Shop, Top Man stuff wears really well. And OP replies, thanks guys, they're really good stores in my opinion, lots of variety. I'm exactly the same, I buy from them stores as well. I buy from Tottenham, River Island, Next, that sort of stuff, because I find their stuff quite decent, you know. I'm not going to go and buy a fucking £50 nightshirt out of pure stupidity. There's no way I'm going to spend that sort of money on a shirt. Fair play to you, those that do, if you really enjoy that kind of thing. That's just not my sort of thing. Anyway guys, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that top right hand corner. Once again guys, thank you for being here. If you did enjoy, please let me know by commenting below, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And just to re-mention, on the 10th of this month, YouTube is going to be removing the poll system from the videos. I'm going to be doing it either externally, I think I'm going to be doing it externally, or I will be putting a poll every video in the community section, so you can vote there instead. Hopefully that works, and I'll also put a template in the pinned comment so you can do it there too. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Much love guys. Goodbye.